Kaeyi and welcome to Hardware Heaven. Today we are going to be bringing you another Xbox One review. This time we're going to be taking a look at Dead Rising 3. Now I'll give you all the information you need to know on whether you should pick this up as a launch title or even play it further down the line. Let's get started. Firstly, this has probably been one of the hardest reviews I've had to do in a very, very long time. My opinion on this game is very mixed. The first time I encountered this game was at an Xbox One event, and I was basically in a sandbox version of the game. I had every weapon, every vehicle, and it was practically like GTA Online with zombies, with maybe a bit of Devil May Cry thrown in there. It was extremely fun. I was combining weapons to the point where I was having chainsaws that spit fire and then wings shooting out the back so I could fly everywhere, and then cars that I combined with wheelbarrows that steamrolled zombies to my will. But it wasn't really this amazing, fun sandbox adventure when I actually started playing the game at home. See, you start off with quite a linear storyline that has a quite weak narrative. The characters aren't that great or interesting, and I hate to say this, but the main character, Nick, that you play as, is really, really whiny, to the point where you think, why am I even trying to save this guy? Just take a bullet and that's it, it'll be over. We don't have to bear it anymore. But the encounters that you have and some of the storyline kind of makes it a little bit fun, but I would much rather just have all of those weapons and vehicles and shoot and run over and burn loads of zombies. The narrative kind of puts it off for me. The storyline is your typical kind of save everybody, you find a group of friends, you're wanting to save more people, you're wanting to be the hero, but then the voice acting and the way the character acts in the game doesn't really follow through with that. The combat makes your character Nick seem really, really strong and manly, and he's got kind of all those fight sounds, but then he kind of says things like, oh, I'm scared, or like, let's run away, and just weird things like that where you just think like, God, you're such a wimp. And it's like the person who wrote the storyline for the game had never watched a zombie film before, because everyone's kind of doing things like trying to turn on the TV and just running out into the zombies to try and give them hugs, and it's like, that didn't work for anyone before, it's not going to work now. However, when you get to the point where you start learning how to combine weapons, you're starting to learn how to combine the vehicles, and you really start getting up that kill count, it does become a lot of fun. It's like a hack and slash zombie game, except there's no real point in killing the zombies because there is endless waves of them. But before you get to the point where you actually know how to play, it's like this game assumes you've played every game before it, and considering it's a launch title for the Xbox One, a lot of new people are going to stumble across Dead Rising 3 because they've either got it in a bundle or it's just one of the only half-decent games out there for Xbox One, which, quite frankly, it is. You have to go through this whole kind of narrative, kind of reading book, biography thing where you have to read how to do everything. So it'll be like, oh, you now can combine weapons, and you have to read about 4 pages on how to do it. And if you look through the tutorial system, it's kind of like a big long list of things that you read how to do, and that is very, very off-putting, especially for someone like me who has the attention span of a goldfish. I just want to be shown on screen, press this, combine your weapons, and that's it. I would much rather go through kind of a game tutorial than having to read things as I go along. So this kind of definitely put it off for me, and I wouldn't really recommend it for anyone who is just interested in killing zombies. There are plenty of other better games out there to do that. If you have seen some of the narrative and it's your kind of thing, then I'm sure it does appeal to some people. However, for me, I personally think the characters are really weak. The combat is just kind of picking up different kinds of weapons, and then it's the same X and Y mashing. There's no combos or anything like that. It's just a simple attack and a heavy attack. But driving around in your souped up, crazy 3 vehicles combined car and running over everything does have its appeal, don't get me wrong. When I did play it at the Xbox One event, I was loving it. But getting to that point, there is a long storyline which is very kind of drab and boring, and I'm pretty sure you'll play it for the first couple of hours and then probably not pick it up. I hate to say it, I pretty much love every single Capcom game that has come out before this one, so I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't know how they went from something like Devil May Cry to this, especially for a next-gen launch title, but I've got to be honest with you, it's my job. I wouldn't recommend picking up this game. I think it's probably the first game that I've said that, but if you have played it, definitely do check it out. My word isn't gospel. There are plenty of other people who have reviewed this game who absolutely love it. I'll link some of those in the description so you can see a different point of view, and that's all I have to really say. Kind of, I wish it was better, I really do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!